Oops. You like the top? Or does it offend you? Oh my God, the world is becoming offended. We're all becoming offended so easily. Hi guys, come a little closer. It's a great day today, it really is. The world is becoming so offended that there's no room for, I don't know, joy, laughter, happiness, because the offended are now just looking at, I think it's become almost like bordering. I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word, but you know when you become almost addicted to being offended, it feels like that. This is when you're watching certain people who are offended by their gender or whatever it may be. But today's a great day because I got this message this morning and I thought, oh, I bought this top right a while ago, and I thought, yeah, that's funny, and it's not so funny. What is a man touching a woman for? That's terrible. Get rid of him. Well, you know what? You can't. Because I'm unemployable, so nobody can fire me. The only thing you can do is have a word with YouTube. They can knock me off or knock this off. But you know what? I don't care. And you know what? I don't care about much these days. I'm having a coffee. Shouldn't, but I'm having a coffee. It's kind of a weird world we live in, and very soon we're going to have something called the thought police. I read a book. Well, I didn't read it. I listened to the audio version of George Orwell 1984. Fabulous book. And what a genius. It was written many years ago, but he was a seer, obviously, or he was in the circle of knowing what the agenda was, and is playing out word by word. If you read the book or listen to the audio, it really is a thought police. And it's true, police now are more interested in what you're thinking or saying than actually catching criminals who are really doing harmful things to one another. So it's becoming that way now, and it's almost like anybody who is in a position with work are threatened by these people who are offended. It's really sad. And you know, I keep saying this, don't you dare take my right away to be offended. I mean, what kind of world is this going to be in if nobody dares be offended and nobody feel, you don't offend anybody, don't offend me? I mean, what kind of world is that going to be? It's going to be a terrible world. You know, it's nice to get your juices flowing. It's nice to be stimulated by things. At least you're showing that you've got passion or a feeling or something for something. But for God's sake, you know, being offended is our God-given right if you believe in God. That's what makes us who we are. How are we to ever express ourselves or become the person that we are and look back on our life and see what we were challenged by and how we reacted and what our reaction was like, and how do we grow from not being challenged or offended? That's all part and parcel of life and living the higher, the bigger picture. So anyway, let's lighten the load a bit. So I'm going to read this little message which I loved. Dear Mark, am I going to be an agony aunt now? Yes, love, tell me what's wrong. Listen, I need more help than you guys, trust me. I'm alright, I just take my next tablet. I'll be fine. So, okay, let's be a bit serious, shall we? Come on. Okay, what is the difference between male, female, man and a woman, spiritually speaking? Bloody brilliant question. Let me start by thinking about... I Okay. I remember telling this a while ago, but let's see if it's always something that stuck with me. Yeah, so it was a day which was like any other day. It was a weekend like any other weekend, but this weekend was kind of a weekend, special weekend, because the following weekend I was going to be best man at a friend's wedding. So you can imagine I was quite nervous about all of this. And of course, my wife then, Susie, needed a new dress. Of course she did. It's so important to have a new dress for a wedding. We can't wear a dress twice at another wedding. Somebody might see. So great excuse. Okay, here we go. We're off to Manchester. We're going to the shopping centre in Manchester. So it was about, I think, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We got there nice and early. So the first shop we walked into, Susie walked up to this rail, and as soon as she pulled this dress out, whoa, that's nice. And she went into the back, tried it on, like, wow, that is amazing. She had a great figure, still has it, and like, oh wow, you look amazing. Never said much. She put the dress back, and then we went out, and then we went to another shop, and she tried that dress on, another dress, and then we went to another shop, and then we went to another shop. She tried that dress on, and we went to another shop, which is 5 o'clock now, 5 o'clock, nearly 5 o'clock. And after trying like 450 dresses on, we then went back to the first shop at 9 o'clock in the morning. And she picked that dress up, tried it back on, and she bought that dress. Yeah, like 8 hours shopping, and the first dress that she tried on, she went back and bought that one. I needed a suit. I tried a suit on, and the first or second suit I put on, I went, oh, that's nice. And yeah, it's really nice, and bought it. I guess the answer on a level of human behavior kinda is that a man is happy to find something, put it on, and if it feels nice and looks nice, he's happy. He's out of there. He's gone, and he's blessed that he's found something that suits him, and quicker the better. But a woman, don't be offended, but a feminine, well, there could be something a bit better. You never know. And they enjoy shopping. They enjoy a good old shop. What a lovely day. Let's go and try lots of dresses on. I guess like when you were little girls, you used to put dresses on the little dolls and play with them all day. And, you know, a bit like wedding dresses. And a lot of women dream of getting married in white. And, you know, like lads, you know. I guess that's the kind of difference between men and women, but that's not spiritually speaking, of course. That's me being stupid. Okay, so the question is, let me look, what is the difference between male and female, man, woman, spiritually speaking? I actually don't believe wholeheartedly, now we're looking and being a bit more serious and going deeper, I don't think there is any difference at all between us. And the reason why I say that is because once you leave your body, you are then whole, pure, and everything that you were before you came here, which is the spirit, the essence of who you are, which is non-binary, but I can't even say the word. Let's just say non-gender. Oops, that's buggered everything up, hasn't it? Oh, maybe that's then confirmed to those people and them people. Oh, that's not good. That's good. I see, I told you. Listen to what he just said. It's true. It's true, guys. I'm really sorry to say if I've offended you. We are basically spirit, and there is no male or female. There is only this earthly world. that we are either what we are being told, male and female, but we're now starting to come to an age where we're becoming more confident, we're becoming more accepted to be whatever we want to be and feel. And I have no say, really. It's not really for me to say what is right and what's wrong, because we've changed over the centuries from being, whether you believe like cavemen, where we get the big stick and hit the woman over the head and drag her into the cave. I mean, kind of like life changes, right? We used to have men, I spoke about this yesterday, who expected the woman to cook their dinner and, do the cleaning work and stroke the pussycat and don't you speak unless you're spoken to. And to now, women being, it's actually the other way around. Women are being the most powerful people in the world, and actually they can multitask. I mean, most men can't even walk and chew chewing gum at the same time. We only pretend. We're only good at pretending. But yeah, women can multitask. They can listen to 30 conversations at once in a bar restaurant. Are you listening to me? And did you hear what? And did you hear that? Oh yeah, we can hear everything. And women can smell so much more, as Don Tolman says. Like I'm in a room and a woman will go, "Do you smell that?" My girlfriend, "Do you smell that?" No, I don't smell anything. Because their senses are so heightened. It's untrue. Women feminine is amazing. It really is. It's fascinating. And us men are kind of really, we've got a long way to go, but we realise that, and that's why we persecuted women. Killed lots of them in the past hundreds and hundreds of years, right? We claimed they were witches, but actually they were far superior than men. But hey-ho, I think a lot of men wouldn't even say that. But going back to the conversation, how would you know, Mark? Well, I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you how I know, and I know my truth. And I don't expect you to believe me, but I'm going to tell you my truth. 16 years ago, I had no understanding of the spirit world other than certain times of my life when I was married to my first wife, Jackie. We ran to the priest because our first home, we said there's something in this house, and the priest came and blessed the house. Actually, nothing was ever done. He couldn't bless it. He didn't have any sage, that's why. Anyway, he did his blessing, but the problems were still there. And the problems were, we'd come home and the taps were running. And then we felt weird through the night, somebody pushing on us, and the lights going on and off, and it was just too much. We had to leave. Speaking to Shirley, who owned that house because she owned the farm, we asked Shirley, there's something really weird with this house, and I'm sorry we're leaving. And she said, yeah. She said, before you moved in, an old chap died in the seat, and he was there for like 5 or 6 days. I went, wow. Now, I didn't know anything about spirit trapped in between two worlds and things like that, but that was definitely, now I look back and know he needed helping to go back into what we call the light, but it really means stepping through the veil between the two worlds, as I call it. But as the universe has planned out for you without knowing, I got to a point in my life where I was brought into this field of work, and like I'm now going into homes, I'm now reading people's futures, I'm feeling energies, I'm feeling spirit, and I'm hearing, and when I say hearing, I sometimes get like photos in front of my eyes, quick photos, and then I sometimes can see outlines of spirit and lots of different things that I think, am I going crazy? And over the years, I started becoming more confident and saying, no, you're not crazy, Mark. It's just another world that most people don't understand. And of course, they're going to call it crazy because they don't experience it. So I'm experiencing all of these things. And I remember many times sat with a mother and saying, I can see a little girl here, 8 years old. She's got long red hair, and she's crying, and she's saying she loves you, and blah 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 blah. And then they'd start crying and say, oh my God, I had either a termination 7 years ago, or I lost my child 7 years. And things were making sense, because if anybody knows me, I used to tell people to keep their mouth shut when they walked into the room. That was the first thing. Don't say a word. Don't tell me your name, your last name, just tell me your first name. And I did it for me, because I wanted to know. It's so important. If you start telling me things, I can't go there. So don't tell me anything. So for 16 years, I would read people's futures, not knowing who they are. And I've read for, royalty. I've read for pop stars. I've read for, executives, ITV, BBC, top executives. I've read for everybody in the highest level, and like people like you and me, read for everybody, and just read, didn't know who they are, just read for them. People coming into my room, not saying anything, Kerry Katona, all of these people just come into me, and I'm reading for them, and I'm seeing things and feeling things. And I came to a stage in life when I realized that the reason why these apparitions, these pictures, these feelings, these names, these thoughts, these words, they weren't really who we think they were. And I was struggling with that, because hang on a minute, it's a male. Oh yeah, well, it's a male, that makes sense. And I'm thinking in the bigger scene of things, well, actually it's not a male, and it's actually not a female, it's a spirit. So I got to the stage where I realized, the penny dropped. Mark, they're only showing you what you need to see to explain to this lady who I'm looking at. So basically, I'm having a two-way conversation. The spirit world that you believe is your grandma, I'm saying, oh, it's your grandma, because I can see it's a woman, and I can see she's doing this and she's showing me this, right? But actually, do you want me to tell you the truth? She's not your grandma. She's a young, beautiful, powerful being with no male-female agenda. She just is this ball of beautiful energy, but she's having to describe herself in this world who she is. So the question that you put to me is, what's the difference spiritually between male and female? And I could even add animal. An animal kingdom, your dog. There is no difference. We come back as what we believe is a male, a feminine, masculine animal, but really we are a beautiful soul, powerful in all our essence. And when we leave this body, we go back, which I call past that veil that we can't see, into our home, our real world. And we are perfect spirit, light, energy, which has no gender, which has no label. We just are perfect in all form. Isn't that beautiful? And that's my conclusion about the gender thing that's happening now. If we could see past that, if we could all see past that and just live and let live, don't push your gender. And when people are stupid, let them be stupid, but don't be affected by people saying or trying to label you. And don't be offended when people say silly things. Just be yourself. I mean, look at me. I was labelled a psychic, a medium. I was labelled a fraud, a charlatan, a cheat. If I would have really embraced that, I would have not done what I am meant to do. Therefore, my message to you is, if you feel you're not male or female, then live your life and don't be offended. If you know who you are, don't let it offend you. People call me charlatan and all sorts every day. It doesn't offend me because I know my truth. And if you feel that you are male, then be happy with that. If you feel you're female, be happy with that. If you feel you're transgender, you're gay, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever that name, live live who you are and ignore the nonsense out there. And, you know, we all have the right to be offended. When people say stuff and offend me, then I have the right to feel offended. But you know what? I deal with that in my own way. I don't scream and shout about it anymore. I used to, but I've stopped. I've grown stronger than that. I know my truth. I know what I experienced. I know who I am deep down, and who I am is just like everybody else. And all of that other stuff is a nonsense. It's labels given to you by idiots. And you know what? Let it be. Be who you're meant to be. Whatever you've come into this world to experience is your experience. And I do not push my experience on anybody else. So don't you dare push your experience on anybody else. That is the difference between being offended and not offended. I live my earthly life the way I want to. I'm not screaming and shouting, telling everybody, hey, I am a psychic and you should listen to me. And don't you call me anything else. You know what? I am what I am. I am not a psychic. I am more than that. I am more than male. I am more than all of those names that I'm called. I am more than my name, Mark Bajerski. I am a beautiful spirit living and experiencing this world, and I will not let a label pull me down to any kind of enslaved behavior. I am free to choose and to be what I want to be. And the only time I am imprisoned is when I allow somebody to offend me, okay? I will not be offended ever again. All right, guys, it's a beautiful day today. Thanks for listening to this lovely topic. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna offend some people. Oh, there you go. What can we do? Okay, I'm off back to my pink fluffy cloud. Have a great day, guys. Take care of yourself. Thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your genuine, authentic crystals last night. You've chosen some beautiful ones. And thank you for buying your oils. I'm wrapping and packing them this afternoon as well. Some beautiful choices of oils this week. Well done, guys. I'll do some videos on some oils very soon. Have a most amazing, wonderful, spirit, gorgeous, beautiful, enlightened day. Really, have a great day. Enjoy yourself and get yourself off social media now and go out to Mother Nature. That's what I'm going to do later on. Take care, guys. Bye for now.